You got a baby in your belly?
Yeah, look.
No, you don't.
Yeah, look.
Okay, so if you saw my 32-week update and my 33-week update, it is still that same day. I'm 36 and a half weeks currently, but doing my 34-week update because this is when I got a chance to sit down without anybody because they're at the playground with just daddy. But 34 weeks was interesting. So in my 32-week update, I mentioned I had Charlie horses in my left calf. My 33-week update, I mentioned I had leg cramping, but not necessarily Charlie horses, in both calves pretty much every morning, but it was really easy to stretch out and get it to go away, and I was just working on hydrating. In the beginning of my 34th week, I noticed I started getting these circular, like, well, not exactly circular, but round bruises all up and down my left calf. And that made me think, I'm assuming these are just leg cramps from dehydration. It is possible it could be blood clots. Those blood clots do run in my family. You're more susceptible to getting blood clots when you're pregnant. When I was pregnant with Rain, I had to get my leg Dopplered for similar reasonings, just to double check I didn't have blood clots. So I was like, dang, okay, let me be safe. Better safe than sorry. And on, I want to say Saturday morning, it was either Saturday morning or Sunday morning, we decided to go to Winnie Palmer Hospital, which is the women's hospital in Orlando, where it's a full service hospital, has a full service emergency room, full service like everything, but their specialty is women and children. So if you're pregnant and you have any issue, like if you broke your nose and you happen to be pregnant, you should go to Winnie Palmer if you're in Orlando, because when you go to any other hospital or doctor while you're pregnant, they don't want to touch you. But if you go to Winnie Palmer, like your pregnancy is like not like their main, like they still hear you. They still hear your actual complaint and don't just, focus on the fact that you're pregnant. So that's nice. So I went to Winnie Palmer, and triage, told them about my, I've been having these leg cramps, and then showed them the bruises that I'd started getting. And then also I had like, they looked at everything and then they agreed. They were like, okay, yeah, we're going to do a quick ultrasound Doppler on your leg just to double check everything is okay. Someone got hurt on the playground. Give me 1 second. Here I am finishing this video 2 weeks later. So yes, they agreed that they should Doppler/ultrasound my leg. And whenever you go in to triage at Winnie Palmer, they do like a minimum 30-minute monitoring of the baby. And then that they usually do that like while they're getting everything else ready for what you came in for. If you're not in there for something baby related. And they were like, oh yeah, you just do the 30-minute monitoring. But I was there for longer and longer, and I'm thinking like I came in for ultrasound and positive mindset. I'm like, they're gonna do a quick Doppler, nothing's gonna be wrong, it's gonna be fine, and I'm gonna be leaving out of here in 2 hours. So time is passing. Marcus is in the car with the girls in the parking garage. Because we had like gotten food and they were basically just eating lunch together in the car in the parking garage. And I'm thinking, by the time he gets through feeding them and he eats, it'll basically be like, I'm checking out soon. It's going to be great. Time passes and time keeps going on. And they did like the leg Doppler and everything. They're waiting for the results to come back, but they still had me on the baby monitors. And I'm like, this is weird. But I started having like what I would consider Braxton Hicks for me. And granted, my Braxton Hicks that I call Braxton Hicks are pretty strong. So after a while, they come in, they're like, do you feel like you're having contractions? And it turns out they had kept me on the monitor because they saw the contractions on the monitor and were concerned that I might have to stay. Or they may have to give me something to prevent labor. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I have some strong Braxton Hicks sometimes, but as long as it's not like more than a few an hour, I usually don't worry about it. And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna check you. So they check me, and I mean, like, not dilated and everything's good. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna give you a bag of fluids just in case with everything that's going on. Because mind you, when I got there, they wouldn't let me drink anything. I kept asking for water, they wouldn't let me drink. And then when the results for the Doppler came back fine, they want to tell me like, oh, you just make sure you're hydrating. I've been asking y'all for water for hours. But anyway, yeah, so they put me on fluids to see if the contractions would slow down. They didn't necessarily like give me any specific medication to try and stop the contractions, because this was the weekend that I turned 34 weeks. They didn't really do anything only because I wasn't dilated. But eventually, like, you know, I was able to, they were able to get the contractions a little weaker after the fluids and stuff. And then we went home after hours of being at the hospital. But throughout that week, everything was pretty normal, pretty pregnancy normal anyway. It was a pretty chill week. Nothing eventful happened. Week 34 was pretty nice, other than the hospital visit to start the week.